Right now, you are a highly capable senior executive, you are a director, a VP, or a C suite operator looking for transition into the Dubai market, or looking to aggressively upgrade your current position within the Emirates. Every morning, you open your laptop, log into the LinkedIn or a premium executive job portal, and you submit your meticulously crafted resume to a job posting that already have 400 applicants. You wait, you check your email, you receive an automated rejection. You are a master of corporate strategy, but you are playing a game that was rigged against you the moment you click apply. Here is a brutal, unspoken truth of 2026 global labor market, specifically here in the UAE. If a seven-figure apex corporate role is publicly posted on a job board, you are already too late. The job is gone. The posting is merely a compliance formality. 70% of the highest paying, most powerful executive roles in Dubai are never published. They exist entirely within the hidden market. They are filled through geographical proximity, whispered conversations, and trusted access. Today, we are completely abandoning the digital application. I'm going to show you how to physically hack the spatial architecture of Dubai. I will give you the exact uncompromising blueprint of the secret networking spots, the dawn coffee rituals, and the private mahogany rooms where the real decisions are made. Grab a notebook, it is time to stop acting like a desperate job seeker and start operating as a strategic peer. Welcome back, I'm Dr. HR. To understand why my approach to the executive placement is aggressively different from the traditional academic career advice you have been fed, you must understand my underlying architecture. I do not look at the career transition as a game of luck or a test of resume formatting. I look at them as mathematical equations of supply, demand, and the structural leverage. My foundation is deeply rooted in systems architecture. I hold a bachelor's in engineering, specifically computer science. I paired that highly algorithmic mindset with a master's and a PhD in human resource from prestigious Tata Institute of Social Sciences (TISS) in Mumbai. Operating on the ground here in Dubai since 2010 and having consulted for over 20 apex corporate entities across the Middle East, I know exactly how institutional algorithms calculate value. I know exactly how the selection committees of a billion-dollar sovereign wealth fund and multinational conglomerate operate. My background in computer science means I understand the exact digital filters that are keeping you out. My PhD in HR means I know exactly how to manipulate the psychological and the physical environment to get you in. Let us break down the failure of the digital portal, the geography of power in Dubai, and exact physical nodes you must intercept to dominate your trajectory. Phase 1. The failure of the digital portals and the rise of the hidden market. We must first diagnose the structural failure of your current strategy. Why is applying online a graveyard for a high-level executive talent? In 2026, the corporate HR department are armed with aggressive AI-driven Applicant Tracking Systems, the ATS. These algorithms use natural language processing to filter out 95% of applications before a human eye ever sees them. But here is a fatal flaw of the algorithms. AI is excellent at filtering for standard routine floor skills. It is catastrophic at measuring the nuanced, highly complex ceiling skills required for executive leadership. And algorithms cannot measure your gravitas. It cannot measure your political intelligence, your ability to manage a panicked board of directors, or your deep Rolodex of sovereigns contact. Because the algorithms cannot measure these traits, it ignores them. The CEOs and the chairman in Dubai knows this. When they need a new chief operating officer or a managing director, they do not trust the AI filters. They trust their inner circle. This creates the invisible economy. In this economy, roles are not filled through platforms, they are filled through proximity. To enter this economy, you must execute a violent psychological shift. You must permanently kill the mindset of a desperate job seeker. A job seeker asks for a favor. A job seeker hands out a business card and asks, "Are you hiring?" That reeks of liability. You must transition into the mindset of a strategic peer. You are not looking for a job. You are an apex asset looking for a systematic problem to solve. You belong in these high-stakes environment. You are simply evaluating where to deploy your intellectual capital next. Phase 2. The dawn coffee rituals at DIFC and Business Bay. The first physical node we are going to hack are the morning transition zones. High-level executives in Dubai do not sleep in. They operate on a global time zones between 6:30 a.m. and 8 a.m. before the market open and before their assistant barricades their office doors. There is a golden window of vulnerability. This is when the city's primary decision maker congregates in specific luxury hotel lobbies and artisanal cafes in Dubai, International Finance Center, the DIFC, and the Business Bay. The target nodes. You're not going to other standard chain coffee shops. You are positioning yourself in the lobby lounges of Ritz-Carlton DIFC, the ground floor cafe of ICD Brookfield Place, or discreet high-end espresso bars hidden within the Gates Village. These are the geographical choke points of Dubai corporate elite. Mastering the organic bump in, you do not stalk these individuals. You architect an organic intersection. You sit at a strategic table with a physical newspaper like Financial Times or the Gulf News business section, or a complex, highly technical book. You do not look at your phone. You look up when a target executive is waiting for their espresso. You initiate the organic bump in. You do not introduce yourself by your title. You introduce a high-level observation, the execution. I noticed you are reviewing the new D33 logistics mandate. Are your supply chains feeling the friction from the recent compliance shift? Or have you already automated the backend? Transitioning to the exchange. You have now transitioned a brief morning greeting into a sophisticated exchange of industry insights. You listen to their response and you reply with a sharp, data-driven observation that proves you are a peer. You keep it to 3 minutes. You do not ask for a job. You end the interaction by saying, I have heard to a board advisory call, but your perspective on the regional supply chain is sharper than most. Let's connect on LinkedIn. I'll send you the white paper my team just drafted on that exact compliance loophole. You have just positioned yourself as a high-value asset, and you now have a direct, warm line of communication to the CEO. Phase 3. The evening portfolio shift to Alserkal and private galleries. The boardroom is a fortress. During the day, executives have their psychological armor fully equipped. If you try to pitch them in their office, their defensive heuristics will automatically reject you. You must intercept them when their armor is down. This brings us to the evening portfolio shift. In Dubai, the elite corporate class decompresses through culture. On Tuesdays and Thursday evening, tech founders, wealth directors, and regional managing directors shift their presence to Alserkal Avenues in Al Quoz or to exclusive invite-only private gallery opening in Jumeirah and DIFC, the neutral bridge. In these environments, traditional corporate hierarchy is temporarily suspended. You are using cultural intelligence and art appreciation as a neutral bridge. When you stand next to an executive observing a contemporary installation, you do not talk about quarterly earning, you talk about the aesthetic, the artist's use of negative space, or the cultural narrative. You establish intellectual parity, the strategic pivot. Once rapport is established on the neutral ground, you execute the pivot. You move from creative aesthetic to strategic leadership gaps, the execution. What fascinates me about the artist's work is how they bring order out of an absolute chaos. It actually reminds me of what I spent the last 3 years doing in the fintech sector, taking deeply fragmented, chaotic, legacy banking data and architecturing it into a streamlined, automated ecosystem. The executive will inevitably ask, oh, you are in fintech architecture. You have just seamlessly injected your specific expertise into their relaxed, receptive consciousness. You have bypassed the corporate firewall by entering their cultural side door. You exchange information because the interaction was tied to a positive, elevated aesthetic experience. Your profile is permanently anchored in their mind as a sophisticated peer. Phase 4. Exclusive membership clubs and the late-night chaos. Phase 4. Exclusive membership clubs and the late-night close. If the morning coffee ritual is introduction, the art gallery is a repo, the private membership club is where the transition is finalized. Dubai is a city built on exclusive invitations-only enclaves. Places like Capital Club Dubai, the Arts Club, or the highly guarded private lounges within the Bulgari Resort. In these spaces, the distinction between the leisure and the business vanish entirely behind the thick mahogany doors. This is where the true invisible economy transacts. The etiquettes of the inner circle. If you manage to secure a membership or if you are invited as a guest, you must understand the subtle, uncompromising etiquette of these spaces. Rule number 1. You never explicitly sell. Rule number 2. You never pass out a physical business card unless asked. Rule number 3. You belong. You sit with the quiet confidence of someone who already have everything they need. In these clubs, executive speaks freely about their internal corporate bleeding. They complain about their failing Chief Technology Officer. They complain about their bloated HR department. They reveal the systematic vulnerabilities of their enterprise weeks or months before a job description is ever drafted by their HR team. The late night close. When a chairman at a capital club expresses frustrations over an M&A integration that is falling apart, you do not say, "I'm looking for a job, hire me." You deploy your engineering logic and your HR systems expertise. You say, the M&A isn't failing because of the financials, it is failing because of the cultural data integration. When I the merger for the previous Apex company, we deployed the localized data architecture that mapped the cultural friction points before we ever touched the balance sheet. It saved the board $4 million in projected attrition cost. I have the blueprint on my laptop. You leverage the relaxed, whiskey, and cigar atmosphere to secure the formal follow-up. I'm flying out to Riyadh on Thursday, but let's have our assistant schedule a private breakfast on Monday. I will bring the blueprint, but I'll show you exactly how to stop the bleeding. You just secured a formal, high-stakes meeting for an executive vacancy that does not officially exist yet. You created the role. Phase 5. Architecturing your presence for long-term influence. Executing these encounters once is a lucky coincidence. Executing them systematically in a system engineering to permanently bypass the HR firewall, you must treat your physical presence in Dubai as an algorithmic routing protocol. You must architect your exposure, the recurring weekly schedule. You must develop a recurring, disciplined weekly schedule that ensures maximum exposure to the right faces across the city's power center. Monday and Wednesday, 7 a.m. coffee in DIFC. Tuesday, evening gallery opening in Alserkal. Thursday, late evening drinks at Capital Club or an elite hotel lounges. When the same executives see you in these high-value spaces week after week, you trigger the mere exposure effect. They subconsciously categorize you as a fixture of their elite ecosystem. Familiarity breeds trust, and trust executes the transaction. The non-intrusive follow-up system. You must operate your own internal CRM, the customer relationship management system, for these human nodes. When you secure a contract, you do not harass them. You implement a non-intrusive, high-value follow-up protocol. If you meet a CEO who is worried about AI integration, you set a Google alert for that specific topic. 3 weeks later, you send them a direct message. Thought of our conversation at the arts club? Anthropic just released a new protocol that solves the exact data privacy issue you were worried about. Here is a brief. Let me know if your CTO needs help translating the architecture. You're not asking for a job. You are providing free, hyper-targeted strategic value. You are keeping your profile top of the mind. The permanent network. When you execute this architecture flawlessly, you consolidate these tactical encounters into a permanent ironclad network. One day, that CEO will be sitting on a boardroom, staring at a massive structural failure. And someone will say, "We need a brilliant system architect who understands human capital." The CEO will not call the HR department. They will not post the job on LinkedIn. They will pull out their phone and call, "You have hacked the system. You guaranteed that you never have to apply for an online job again." Look closely at the mechanics of this city. Dubai is not a city that rewards the passive. It does not reward the professional who hide behind a screen submitting PDF resumes into a digital void, hoping for an algorithm to take a pity on them. This city rewards the visible. It rewards the strategic. It rewards the architects who understand that the most valuable currency on earth is not cryptocurrency or real estate. It is trusted, high-level human access. Stop playing the game the system wants you to play. Stop fighting the AI filters. Step out of your apartment. Map the geography of power. Execute the organic intersection and forcefully claim your seat in the invisible economy. If you are a high-level professional ready to completely rewire your systematic approach to the global labor market and build untouchable leverage, the ultimate manual is waiting for you. For the record, my brand new book, The 2026 Career Architect, is officially live and available for download right now exclusively on namaste.ai. This book is culmination of years of computer science and HR frameworks applied directly to the global market. It contains the exact psychological script, the location mapping, and the advanced negotiation tactics you need to bypass the administrative trap and dominate your trajectory. Stop applying for the job. Start architecturing your presence. Process the blip, execute the strategy, and I'll see you at the top.